Well, hey everybody, and welcome to our November edition of Office Hours. If you are joining us from the U.S., I just want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, and I just want to say thank you to all of you who are tuning in. You guys make our products awesome, so thank you.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
So yeah, this is our monthly Office Hours, and we answer your questions about WordPress in general, as well as any questions you have about one of our plugins, WP Courseware, S3 Media Maestro, and Churnly. Unfortunately, we don't have Corey with us today. He is actually traveling today. So Nate and I are going to be your hosts today. So yeah, thank you for joining.
Good stuff. Yeah, Corey's on the road, so it's just us.
Yeah.
But so sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to say, just to mention, we've got the chat lines open. So if you have a question, I've got YouTube Live opened up. So if you have a question in there, you can send it through chat through there. Actually, I'm going to open up Facebook as well, in case you guys have any questions on Facebook.
Cool.
And yeah, I am there, so we can get started.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, just let me know if you see anything pop up.
Okay.
And we've got a couple of questions in our queue from the last month. Let's see what we have here. Okay, let's see. First one is Steve, who asked, he wants to get a refresher with the product and learn how to set up a membership site with WP Courseware on my site with Elementor. So I think we're all good with Elementor, right?
Yeah, yeah. We had some issues with the JavaScript loading, but I believe Corey has already addressed that. We had some issues with, I believe it's Elementor and Beaver Builder.
Okay.
As far as I know, everything should be working as expected. So we should be good to go.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and as far as for Steve, as far as a refresher with the product, I would probably just suggest going through our YouTube channel, and we have a lot of tutorial videos on there to help you out with using WP Courseware.
Yeah, if you go to support.wpcourseware.com as well, there's a little over 100 articles on there on various functionalities within WP Courseware. So if you're just looking for a particular function or how to use a particular feature or option, you can probably find an article listed somewhere in there that's related to that topic. Yes.
Yeah, a little more of a visual way of checking it out instead of sifting through
Right.
YouTube videos. Some of those have gotten pretty lengthy.
Yeah. I try to, lately with the recordings I'm doing, I'm trying to keep them, roughly around 10 to 15 minutes, 15 minutes tops. Because, I mean, even myself, when I'm looking at YouTube videos, I think, you get to that 10-minute mark, 15-minute mark, and you kind of start losing.
Right. Yeah. Lose focus.
Yeah. I try to keep them short and sweet.
Yeah. We used to do I think we still have a couple of those quiz module videos on there that are like 45 minutes. So yeah. The written documentation is maybe a better way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Okay, so what was the other question was also how to build a membership site.
Oh, right.
So not quite sure. Did he mention what membership that?
No membership plugin. But actually, we get a lot of pre-sales questions where people are asking if they have to have a membership plugin, because previously we didn't have our shopping cart payment gateway set up. But a membership plugin is not totally necessary now.
No, it's not. Now that we have the native shopping cart, we've got a couple of payment gateways, and it completely entirely runs your your online course business. Now, if you have additional content that you're trying to hide behind a membership wall, then you're going to have to use probably a membership plugin. But the good news on that is that we have integration for most of the mainstream popular membership plugins. So integrating that with WP Courseware is pretty simple. So that way you can continue using your membership plugin to sell membership levels or products or however your membership plugin works. And at the same time, you can still sell your courses.
Yep. Yeah, and you can kind of do. Actually, I was speaking with a customer yesterday or the day before, well, chatting with a customer that was kind of doing both with WooCommerce, like was going to sell through WP Courseware, but also roll his courses into some sort of product where he sold other stuff as well. So
yeah, and
pretty flexible.
When it comes to using, I really try to recommend, pick one or the other. If you're going to sell with WP Courseware, sell with WP. I don't recommend mixing. There could be some conflict issues just with checkouts and shopping carts and things like that. But I mean, always test. Obviously, you should be doing testing. So,
yeah. I think that's probably a good call. I've kind of recommended the same thing. Like, you certainly don't have to use WP Courseware's checkout functionality, but probably good to go one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, if like I said, if you're selling online courses, I mean, it's a complete package. I mean, you can set up your product page. It's your course listing. You have all your course outlines that are on the course listing as well. You have your checkout buttons, your shopping cart, a couple different payment gateways options that you can use. And then the really cool part is there's actually a dashboard as well, so that you can have a place for your students to log in, immediately see the dashboard. They can see their courses that they're enrolled into. So everything, all the components are there to run a full online course business.
Yeah. Good stuff. Glad we finally got that added.
Yeah.
Took us a bit.
It did.
Let's see. What else do I have here? Got another question. This is a good question, actually, and I don't think we've addressed it during office hours before. This is a pre-sales question from a gentleman who wants to know if we would recommend using drip content with WP Courseware.
Absolutely. So the good news is WP Courseware does have a drip feature. And the primary reason for a drip feature is obviously so that you don't force your students to have immediate access to everything. They're able to take content in small bites. And so that way it's easy. It's easier to learn if you're not trying to swallow the entire course in a day. But on the flip side, on the business side of things, it's also helpful for you so that you don't have, you could be running, for example, a membership site, and you don't want your student to consume that entire course within the period of a month. Perhaps you want them to extend it over a period of 3 months so that you can retain sales for at a minimum of 3 months, or until you can create another course. So there's two sides to having the drip feed feature. But
yeah, I think
absolutely recommend it.
Yeah, I would probably recommend that to just about, well, it depends on the use case, but I would probably recommend that to just about everybody who's doing like an entrepreneurial kind of course. Learning retention.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing is that, what we see a lot of is people that they want to launch their course before it's finished, and they want to get get some sales, and gives you a chance to start creating content over a period of time, because it takes some time.
And I've seen that where, course creators, they want to get started now, selling now, so they can, immediately start generating and recouping some of their costs that they've incurred. And then they're building out their course, as the months come along, they're building it out. And it's not super hard to do that. And I think, Nate, we've talked about this where, you can kind of create an outline of what, modules and units you're going to use. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have them created, but you can have the outline definitely generated and created from the get-go. And it can morph as well as you go, but at least that way your students have a general idea of what they are going to learn throughout the course. But you can definitely create it as you go.
Yeah, that's a good point. I probably would not recommend that strategy if you don't have your course outline pretty tight. But good stuff. Let's see. That was that was all to that question. That's all I have from emails.
Not seeing anything on YouTube, and I'm not seeing anything on Facebook. But I did want to bring up something because it is November 23rd, and here in about 3 days, I believe it's 3 days, right, Nate?
I think it's Monday, yeah.
Monday.
The 26th.
So you may have heard Gutenberg is going to be dropping Monday through WordPress 5.0. So we had a few questions, and I know we've probably addressed this in some of our previous office hours, but we've had some questions if our plugins are Gutenberg ready. And in some of the previous office hours, we responded by saying, they do work, and the functionality was there. But Corey took it to the next level. He's actually introduced some blocks for WP Courseware where you can create several blocks which are actually relate to short code for WP Courseware. So you have a course listing block that you can create. You also have an enrollment button. You have the outline, and you also have the course progress. So you can introduce any one of those blocks. It has a live preview, which is really cool on the back end. And then, of course, the course units are all Gutenberg friendly. So you can create your course unit content utilizing Gutenberg and all the blocks that come along with it. Now, the other thing that's cool is Corey took S3 Media Maestro and adapted it into Gutenberg as well. We wanted to get the integration a little bit tighter than it did, but just through lack of time, and we just kind of wanted to get this out there because the release date was actually the 19th, but they pushed it out. And so we wanted to get something out there. So he was able to get the short code builder to execute from within a block. And then once it's inserted in there, you have a live preview of the video or audio, which is really cool because you can see that right on the back end as you build out your course units or even a post or a page. So
you can see the player right within it.
Oh yeah, and you can play the video or audio, and so the live preview all works. So yeah, we're Gutenberg ready. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily ready for Gutenberg, but our plugins are ready for Gutenberg. Nor
do we know if WordPress is going to be ready on Monday. But
well, we've had this conversation, Nate, and I'm just really glad that they did push it out. I mean, can you imagine the release date was the 19th, which should have been a couple days ago, just right before Thanksgiving, Black Friday, obviously today, and you have all of these online stores that run WooCommerce. Can you imagine the catastrophe that would have happened?
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
I'm not saying Gutenberg's going to fry everything, but you never know. I mean, I almost feel like the month of November was really rushed, taking it from beta to RC. And so it almost feels, just a bit rushed. I'm not sure if everybody's had time to do testing. Obviously, I feel like A lot of people are going to wait to upgrade anyway. I know I am. So.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too. Just anybody watching this now or later, if you have concerns, just slow down and wait for the upgrade. And if you have a staging environment, maybe try it there first. Because it's going to be, it's not going to be too long before we don't have a choice, but for now we kind of do.
Yeah, test it on your staging environment. Many of you maybe know this or don't know this. Flywheel has a really cool product out there called Local by Flywheel, and it's a free product you can download. It's a full stack development environment for Mac or for Windows, and you can spin up a WordPress site in a matter of minutes, and you can test. In fact, you could export your database from your live site, import it right in there, and you can perform a lot of your testing there. So it's a great way to test and just to make sure that everything is going to be Gutenberg ready. So anyway, but yep, it's coming.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You could pretty much if you copied your site files and your database over, you could pretty much test just like your setup on your production site.
Oh yeah, it's super easy to copy your flat files, copy your database. You just need to change the two database options for your home and site URL. And then what I typically do is I install the I think it's called Better Search and Replace by Delicious Brains. It's a great plugin.
Oh yeah, I like that.
You can search and replace all the URLs to change them over to your local URL, and you can basically have your live site on a development environment on your computer probably within about a half hour.
Right.
It's pretty easy to get that going.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty handy because a lot of the shared hosting services, they don't have like what. Yeah, WP Engine has that.
Yeah, WP, and I mean most of the managed WordPress hosting platforms have that. Where you don't find it is your Bluehost and your HostGators and your $4 a month
right
plans. Yeah,
little trickier.
Yeah, but you can make it happen for sure.
Yeah, well, that's good news that was a big deal that Corey got us ready for this, and locked and loaded for whenever it does happen.
Yeah, I've played with it a little bit. I mean, I can't say that I've used it extensively aside from testing our products with it. I'm not super sold on it. I think it's cool. I hope it's a step in the right direction. I personally have not used it enough to get used to it, or to, I guess, have an opinion one way or another. I've used it. And it's kind of cool, and it's kind of funny because there's all these other options. You've got page builders and things like that that are kind of similar. I know they're different, but they're kind of similar in the way that they work. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. It'll be interesting to see what happens with page builders and how they react to it and how they adapt to it as well.
Yeah, I would agree. And for anyone that uses page builders, I would just say, if you like the way they work, they're all gonna differentiate somehow, and they're gonna be different from Gutenberg somehow. So you might just want to think about sticking with what you got.
Yeah.
For a while.
And from what I understand, I haven't looked into this, Nate, but you probably remember. I know when we were at WordCamp US about a year ago, we were talking about, or Matt Mullenweg was talking about the Gutenberg release, but he did mention that there is going to be a classic editor plugin available so that.
That's right.
In case you didn't want to use Gutenberg, you could always revert back to the classic editors. So I've not looked into that to see if that's the case. I would assume so. I would think that they might give that option, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's sort of a, I guess, unique way of doing it, but well, that's what they've done with Gutenberg so far.
Yeah.
as a plugin editor. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting time for WordPress.
I think it is. I think WordPress is going through some growth, and hopefully, I mean, it's still running 30% of the internet. I mean, it's definitely direct competition with Wix and site builders like that. But I think WordPress, and we've had this conversation, was really built for developers and those that want flexibility to, have full control over the customization of your website. And so you can't do it. You can't do everything with Wix. But with WordPress, I mean, absolutely, you can do just about anything you want to do with WordPress.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we did talk about that. It's like there's probably no one that uses WordPress as a CMS that doesn't at least know a little bit of PHP, or it's but this, yeah, I think with Gutenberg, I think they'll get, that's going to help them compete with Squarespace and Wix, and yeah, make it a little bit easier than it is now.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how many different plugins and theme options you have with WordPress, it's just no match for Wix. I mean, Wix, you can probably only make your site look so many different ways,
Oh yeah,
or add limited amount of functionality, but you can't have everything that you want. And so your only option really is WordPress. And WordPress, you can have just about anything you want. I mean, you can have any theme. You can customize your theme from the ground up, build your own theme, use a page builder. There's so many different options. And then plugins, there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of plugins that you can use to customize and extend functionality on your website. You just don't have that with Wix.
right. And you don't have to worry about being dependent on that platform. Like, what happens if Wix or Squarespace or Weebly just gives it up tomorrow? Whereas with code, a CMS, you can move it to another server if your host goes out of business.
Yeah, you can, just like we were talking about, you can export, and move your database over somewhere else. It's super easy to do.
Right.
You own your content. It's yours. So it's definitely beneficial. I think. I'm biased to WordPress, but I think
both of us.
I still think it's the best platform.
Yeah, we've been doing this a while, so yeah, I'd say we're both partial.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any. Let's see. Yeah, no more questions from email. I don't see anything, or I didn't look at it. You probably got Facebook and YouTube up.
Yes. Oh, we do have. Oh, had a comment from Al Carter on YouTube. He says, already using WP Courseware with the Gutenberg plugin, and it works like a dream. So
Sweet.
Thank you, Al. He said, though there's chatter on Reddit that the WP5 release date has been put back and will be announced next week. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Let me check on WordPress really quick. WordPress's website. Let's see here. He did mention. Okay, so let's see. Status update for 5.0. Oh wow. Okay, so check this out. Let's see. There's something on here. It says something about January 22nd. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if that's. It was a comment, so I'm not sure if that's. This is funny.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, what's funny? I mean, if you remember, when we were at WordCamp US. Matt Mullenweg, he was pushing for April, and I mean they had just gone through the JavaScript React thing, and they were still pushing for April. I mean, I think they were looking at a full-on rewrite for Gutenberg. And then everything went back to normal with React.js, and so they continued on. But I think April would have been, oh wow.
Well, what's interesting is when they demoed it when Matthias demoed it at WordCamp US, it looked. I mean, I can't really tell what's different now than it was, but I guess working it into the core code is. I mean, that's not so simple.
Yeah, I mean, there had to be a lot of testing behind it. I mean, I can't imagine the amount of hours of testing they've had to have behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's dealing with. I mean, obviously it's core functionality. I get that with WordPress, but I mean, it's dealing with the content of your site, and so it has to work. I mean, that's the whole point of a website is content. If you can't add content to your website, then you don't have a website. So very important for it to work.
Yeah, you've got this content in your database that suddenly needs to be handled with JavaScript, and yeah, it's not an easy thing. But.
Yeah. So it looks like that's the only comment I have in YouTube, as well as WordPress. I'm sorry.
Okay.
As far as Facebook. Talking about WordPress.
Cool.
So that's all I have.
Good deal. Well, we'll be back live. Let's see. That's going to be December 28th. Will be our next session.
Yes. December 28th.
Right in the middle of the holidays.
Yeah. Yeah. Just after Christmas. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody has any questions you want answered, then feel free to hit the Office Hours homepage and our flyplugins.com/office hours, and you can submit those there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining in. If you haven't done so already, would you do me a favor? Would you hit that subscribe button below and subscribe to our channel? We appreciate you guys watching and tuning in every week, and look forward to serving you in December. So.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you then.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.